Right, welcome to the Lonely Carp podcast, episode 11, featuring William Chalk. Right, there might be a little strong language, so you're being warned. Right, welcome, Chalkie. It's great to have you on the podcast. Looking forward to hearing your story, mate.
Yeah, no, thanks for letting us join.
No worries, mate. It's our pleasure, mate. It's our pleasure. So, Chalky, nice one to start off with, like we always do, mate. So, how did it all start for you, mate, fishing?
Way back when I was probably 5 or 6, I used to be my dad's little mascot because he was like a matchman. So I always used to watch my dad like match fish, and I used to count how many fish he's caught. So at the end of the day, he's like, how many fish have I caught? And then I can tell him, and he knows roughly how much weight he's got for the match. It was like his little edge type thing to like
Yeah,
win the matches and stuff. Yeah, that was, I'd say, 94 to 95. Funny enough, I spoke to my dad about it yesterday, type thing. And I said, when did you used to go to the matches and all that? And he says 95 when he started. Because at the pub next door to my mum and dad's house, they had like a Sunday match. Dad used to send me around, go and watch him because he's catching fish. Let me know what bait he's using. And you know what I mean? It was like one of them. I used to be running around the lake, like following everyone.
yeah.
Going back, oh, he's catching on chopped worm, Dad. Chopped worm, get the chopped worm out. It was great, you know.
Yeah, like a
Mm.
little spy on the match scene. You send you
Yeah,
down
yeah,
to, yeah,
yeah. And
class.
then once I got to the right age, they did like a junior team. There was myself, Jamie, and a couple of lads. We all used to put like £5 pot in for like the winner at the end of like the kiddies match, if you know.
Yeah,
And it was like good fun because like I used to be competing against my dad most of the time. It's like I watched my dad how he fished, and I did the exact same thing as what my dad did. I won my first match. I was like, oh great, and I just kept winning and winning and winning and winning. And then I think it was in '97 they actually let me join the adult match, big matches like with the group type. There used to be like 25 of us in the car park in the morning, like
yeah.
dead early in the morning, like drawing for the pegs, and they, they always used to let me go first, and I was like pick out, and I used to always get the hot swim, and they were like, "Oh, do you want to swap?" So it was like one of them. So yeah, literally from then, just doing a bit of match fishing. And I think it was like my 11th or 12th birthday. My dad decided because he wanted to have a break from the match fishing because he wanted to do a bit of the carp fishing. Because we used to watch Matt Hayes, good old John Wilson, on the Sunday mornings and stuff like that. And we was like, oh, should we? I said, Dad, should we do a bit of carp fishing? So yeah, that's when we all started. So I got my first carp set for my 11th birthday, and wasn't the greatest. It was like one of them badges sets, you know, in from out of
Yeah.
carp top. Uh, the rods were just, oh, they were like bamboos, you know. When you hooked your carp, it was like a bamboo stick, you know.
Yeah.
And the reels, it always used to do backwind when it wasn't supposed to, you know. It was, yeah, it was one of them, and I can always remember our first ever night fishing session. And literally, we slept in his van. No, he had he had a state car. So we all lied like linos out in the back of his car, and we didn't even have buzzers. All we heard was the clutch because my dad found out from one of his friends. If you bent the metal thing inside your spool, it makes the clutch sound a lot louder. So
Right.
literally like half asleep, listening to like zzz, zzz, through the night, you know what I mean? And yeah, it was great fun. And then eventually I got myself some bite-alongs, like cheap ones from out of the Carp Mag, and that's it. That's when we all started, and I've never looked back. To be fair,
I think everyone starts on that match scene. I think. Well, I did. Personally, I did as well, mate. And
oh,
obviously,
to be fair, where my mum's kennels is, it's right beside a canal.
right.
So literally all I did was 4 meter width. pint of maggots, and that's it. I used to just sit on the grass and just catch roach and perch and gudgeon all day long, and
Yeah.
that's it. That's all I did. And Mum used to come and sit and watch me when she was on like a break from doing the dogs. Like, how many you had? I lost count, Mum, to be fair. And my dad got me a seat box, brand new one. So I just used that for on the canal. But
Yeah.
most of the time, I always used to like use all his stuff. He used to get it all out of the shed and get his like 13-meter pole out. And he's like, "Who's got my pole out? They put it all wrong." Oh, sorry, Dad.
So you progressed onto the carp, and
Yeah.
so did you have any like influences? Obviously, growing up, did you look at people and think, "Wow, like he looks good," or
My dad and my brother are both fishermen. My brother was more of a carper than a matchman. Because he used to be a professional dancer on cruise ships, and he used to like work in Madeira and stuff. So when he used to come home, his breakaway to get out away from everything else, his
yeah,
like switch off point, if you know what I mean. He went carp fishing to switch off from what he normally does, like his
yeah,
dancing and rehearsals and stuff like that. So I used to watch my brother carp fish, and back then I was like still doing like the match fishing, and when I saw him catch his first carp, and funny enough, it was down on the canal, the part of the section of the canal, um, it was full of carp, and he used to go down there, and he used to go down with his three rods, fox alarms, and he had everything.
yeah,
And when I saw him catch like a 20-pounder out of the canal, I was like, really? Right, that's it. I'm gonna start doing it. And because I used to get bullied at school a lot and all that sort of thing. My mum used to think I used to go to school, but actually I used to go fishing
yeah,
because I knew which days the bullies would be in. So the days where the bullies used to go to school, I used to be fishing, and
right,
I used to just go down the canal. I used to rob a kilo of my brother's boilies out of his freezer and just go down the canal, and
yeah,
start down the canal part. The way that my brother showed me is like looking for like small little bowl bits in between the weed where the carp have fed where he's been putting bait. So I've been like walking up and down the margin looking for like these little bowls in the weed. And he used to put his rig right in the bowl and then put his bait on top.
yeah,
And that's all I used to do, to be fair, is if I weren't fishing, I was at school. If I weren't fishing, I was helping my mum in the dog kennels.
yeah,
So
yeah. 20
it's
pound
always
canal carp, mega,
Oh, I caught my first one when I was 14. Uh, we actually caught the fish, water. I think I sent you the photo. It's the one with me wearing my Arsenal top.
right? Okay, mate,
I was yeah, I was meant to be at school, but I went fishing instead.
get in there.
And I literally at that time my brother was back, and I rang my brother up, and I was like, "Bro, I've got a fish in the net. It's massive. It's like the biggest one I've ever had." And Uh, he come down in his car and he took the pictures. But back then, for the pictures and everything, you used to have to get them developed like boots.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like one of them ones. So
The old disposable camera.
yeah, so yeah, literally when that's it. I got hooked. Then it's like I left the match scene and all I did was like fish the canal. Pretty much, all my like fishing in the canal was like teaching me my own way.
Yeah,
Like, fair enough, my brother showed me like certain things, but I did my certain little tweaks and etc. Is like, there was a bloke who was down there, Boater Dave, we used to call him, and he used to have a light on his boat on the front, and he used to feed the fish sweet corn and stuff like that at the tip of his boat. And he said when he switched his light on, they used to come to the light because they knew that we were getting fed. It was like his koi pond.
yeah,
I took that in mind, so I went down one day with just a can of corn and fished the tip of his boat, and I had like three fish, like two small commons and a mid double mirror, and I was great because I was like, oh, I went down another time and there was an actual match angler fishing there. And I was like, oh yeah, then he goes, no, I keep getting smashed by the carp on my pole. I've had to change the elastic 3 times in my pole. So it's like, yeah, I was like, what are you using? He goes, oh, I'm using double red maggot. So next time I went down with maggot and corn and I had like 4 or 5 fish. It was like I was just learning the canal as I was progressing as an angler.
Yeah, well, mega. So the influence was like sort of back then. The influence was like your brother. You sort of like looked up to him, and you thought, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
mega angler.
And
Yeah,
like, he used to have a video, Terry Hearn and Lee Jacko when they did the Oxford lake. I can't remember. I think it was called Tell and Lee Jacko carp fishing video. And
right.
I must have watched that like 5 times a
Yeah,
day just to drill in what they were doing because I can't. I've got learning difficulties, so me reading a magazine and stuff like that I can't do. So my learning was actually watching how people were doing stuff, and
yeah,
that's why I kept watching it and stopping the video where he was showing his stiff hinge rig because that was like the first rig what I ever tied was the stiff hinge rig, and
right.
that's all I used. That's all I used was stiff hinge
Yeah,
rig. Then my dad showed me like the old school blowback rig. So I used to use that when I used to fish with the particle, but my boiler fishing it was just like a small little stiff hinge with a bit of amnesia. That that's what I used to use back then was the black amnesia to match the canal bottom.
yeah.
So
So
if it was a famous carp angler, it would be lots of people say it, but definitely Terry Hearn because he's well like function to any lake what he goes to because he
yeah,
don't just go to fit he don't just go fishing. He spends months and months researching the lake, looking at like watercraft as we call it. He
yeah,
does a lot of watercraft, and I think that's why he does so well because his watercraft is tip top.
yeah. He's
It's
unbelievable, isn't he?
yeah,
Unbelievable. He's just so switched on to his
yeah.
environment.
He can go to any lake, and it takes 4 months to study the lake.
Yeah,
If the fish are on the wind or off the wind, it's just great. And when he's using the boat, he actually tell. I find sometimes when you're watching Terry N, you're actually there with him, if you know what I mean.
I get it. Yeah, I get that, mate.
Um, like when I watch him, it's like I'm like in a dream watching him,
Yeah,
and it's like I'm there with him, and he's talking to me in the boat, going, "Look, you need to find this like soft spot. If you find hard, just put it into the soft spot. If you know,
mm.
and
Yeah,
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 he's
yeah,
definitely like one of my favourites. And I used to watch like Chris Yates, like the old school ways and stuff. Uh, Matt Hayes, I used to
yeah,
watch him a lot. Uh, John Wilson, used to watch them all, and they all had their own different ways of fishing.
yeah. Of course, mate. So obviously, when you got started, you did the match and stuff like that, and you got in the carp. So what's been like your most like memorable capture, Chalky, today?
That would be um on the lake. Everyone knows it down here is the East Mids Pit. Um, it's a very low stock. Uh, Probably when I was fishing it, probably 45 fish in the whole lake. It's 28 acres. You got 3 islands, and it's very deep, and you got bars, plateaus, and shelves. Um, I went down one winter. Yeah, I went down one winter. It was October time, and I just had a gut feeling to go into this swim. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law, they were like pike fishing in like the small little teardrop bit. Um, so yeah, I'm there sitting there having a brew with them, having a chat, and I was like, oh, the swan's gone through my lines. You know what it's like when this one goes through your lines. You're like,
Yeah,
but this one went straight through my lines, but my rod was still going, and I was looking at my line, and my line was going across the water. So I hit into it. So I been my first ever fish from there.
yeah,
Got in 29-12. So it was like a PB for me.
nice,
And um, I think I've sent you that photo as well. That one's known as chestnut in the lake because
right,
it is the colour of it's very chestnut in winter. And that rarely gets caught. It's like every 3 to 4 years. I've been speaking to anglers who fish it. My brother fishes it, and every 3 to 4 years it don't get seen
right.
or caught. You go. My brother was like, "Well done, sort of him for catching that one because that's a rare one in the lake, and it was immaculate in
Yeah,
condition. You don't get caught
a mega
regular, if you know
result,
what I mean."
mega result, that mate.
Oh yeah, that was definitely probably the one up there type thing that I won't forget because it was
Yeah,
like my first close to a 30 pounder as I see it. I was like, because I
oh,
said to myself, anything over £25 back then, I would be happy with. Because I used to fish my local reservoir as well. That was full of 20s, and I think I had two of the known fish in there spawned out weight at £28, and then one at 29.2, I think it was. So I was close. It was like getting me closer to the £30 mark.
yeah,
And that's what kept giving me my drive to keep going fishing. To be fair, is set yourself a challenge of catching a 30 and then go to your next step. And well, everyone knows what I've done. I've jumped way way above what I wanted, expected.
yeah.
With my 47 pounder what I had, that was just mind blowing as well. So.
It's a mega fish, that mate.
Well, I can say because back when I was at fishing, then I was going through a really dark time with my mental health and everything. So I wasn't enjoying the actual social and the fishing. It's literally I just cast solid bags out and just drank a cup of teas and fell asleep and just kept myself away. Normally I'm like in the next room chatting, oh, what are you doing, and giving them tips and stuff like that. I was just not with it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
um, but like I said to my like my but well, he's like my friend, but I treat him as like a brother. Um, on the way going home, he goes, "Hey, where you gone?" Say, you would have been running around the lake like jumping for joy and stuff. I says, I've lost the bug.
yeah, yeah,
And that's that I just left for a little while and all that. And then I think I just kept getting deeper and deeper in the dark.
yeah,
And then well, it's coming up to about 5 weeks. I actually opened up, and I think it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. To be fair, um, opened up and
yeah,
asked for help.
yeah,
It was literally I got the like the doctor was saying it, explaining to me. There's a lot of men get a bit of stigma, and because they're men, they can't open up about it and stuff like that. But to be fair, if you open it, even if you go to a carp lake, there'll be someone there, and you'll be chatting over a brew, and then randomly start talking about his problems and your problems, and that's where you get your fishing friend bond.
yeah,
And
definitely, mate, definitely.
that's how I see it a lot. I think is there are people out there what will listen and won't judge you, and they might give you advice. But with me, I always say take the advice, and now I'm getting myself better. That it's going to take a long time, but I think with me helping others and talking to others is making me feel better in myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Because
Now,
I've spoken to a lot of people before. I know a lot of people say um, everybody's different. Yeah, fair enough. Everybody's different in person, but we've still got red blood going through our veins and stuff. So
yeah,
we're all the same,
yeah,
and
definitely talking.
we breathe the same air. So it's just getting past the book cover.
Mm,
If you can get past the book cover and open up, you'll feel 100 times better.
yeah,
Come here within 5 weeks. I won't ask to. I won't be doing this. You know what I mean? Talking to you. Uh, well, 5 weeks ago, I would have said, "Oh no, let someone else have an opportunity." But I've stepped up the mark and I've got my focus on certain things each day.
yeah,
Um, that's how I do. That's how I do with my life now is focus on something, and I've learned now to anything negative comments or negative people, take them out. Take
yeah,
them out of your life and turn them into a positive and
mm,
learn from it.
yeah. Chalky, I just want to jump in quickly there, mate, and say, it's I was speaking to you and mate, fair play, 5 weeks ago, yeah, and now 5 weeks now you're on the podcast and listen, mate, I appreciate the advice me and you have had together and we've had some chats and that and I want to jump out there and say, you've put a positive impact on my life, so thank you as well, mate.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, that's how I see it. If people don't message me, say a few days or something like that, I'll just drop them a message. It's not hi or like that. You okay?
Yeah,
That's all I say. You okay? And then I'll just wait till I'll give them a bit of time, and then they'll message me. I know this has happened, and I feel quite low in myself, and I'll just say, right, I'm here. Talk, message
yeah,
me, or ring me, or FaceTime me. I'm here for you.
yeah, man.
And most of them do start talking to me. Um, I know one lad that who I speak to. He was going through a tough split up, and I said to him, "Is you need to find something not to replace her, but to replace the feeling." So he was a carp angler. So he goes because he couldn't really go fishing when he was with her. So he started going fishing again, started
Yeah,
getting the bug, started catching fish, and that was it. And he goes, "Mate, you were right. I've changed the loving feeling from being with her to my fishing again." And
yeah.
I'm getting the love again from the fishing, and it's making me feel better. So I'm like, there you are.
That's it,
And
mate. Innit?
I
The
think
song.
it's just opening people's eyes. There's other options to deal with certain things. It's like I had a really bad drink problem, so I know how to deal with the drink problem and etc. I spoke to another lad. He's not a carp angler, but just a friend. He was going for the drink, and I explained to him is the best way for people to stop drinking is picture you getting a pint of glass and putting your family or friends and all that sort of thing in that pint glass, and you see them drowning in that beer. So the best thing what you can do is pour the beer away. You will save your family and
Yeah,
friends. That's how I tell a lot of people. And he says, mate, he actually did it. He said he went to the shop one day and bought a bottle of vodka And he remembered what I said to him, putting his family in the bottle. And he said, I poured it down the sink.
Yeah,
And he says, I've never touched a drop now.
yeah. No,
So,
mate. Like I say, mate, it's about helping each other through tough times, isn't it, mate? And this is another example why I wanted to start this page and stuff, mate. You know, I wanted to spread
yeah, this
awareness.
page is great. I like interacting with all the people, like, who I've become friends through the page.
Yeah,
So before, I didn't have many friends or anything like that, but since I've been on this group, I've met a load of good friends, like Mickey D. He makes me laugh when
yeah,
he's a good lad. He is.
yeah. He's
There's a
fun to be
few
around.
others, but yeah, it's just nice to get the connection, like the friend connection, through what we all love is carp fishing.
Exactly, mate. And this is exactly what it
Like
was
if
aimed at. You know what I mean?
you were saying, you messaged me and you were saying, oh yeah, I'm struggling and stuff like that, and I said to you, why don't you go back to
Yeah.
basic rigs, basic baiting, and do it like that sort of thing. So and you took that on board, and that made me feel better because you took it on board.
Oh,
Because
it's definitely
sometimes it's best to take a step back and go back to basic. Because I've noticed with my fishing, watching all these programs like Corda, and you get in the mindset, oh, I need to try that, I need to buy that, I need to buy this, I need. It gets all complicated, and then you lose your mind, and you think to yourself when you cast your rod out, is everything right? Is it fishing right?
yeah,
You lose your confidence if you put too much, how can I say, pressure in buying that item, buying a different item from
yeah.
like tackle shops because you've seen it on YouTube or saw it on TV.
There's that many videos out there, Chalky, isn't there? And
Oh,
it is like a thing in it, mate. I totally agree. I watch stuff myself, mate, and I'm thinking, oh, is this the way forward? And then when you said going back to basics, I thought, you know what? When I thought back, when you said that, it triggered in my head when I was fishing on the local reservoir. All I was doing is fishing, obviously, so basic. And I was catching more than I ever caught. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what I'm going to do
yeah,
next
just
year, mate.
go back to the standard blowback rig, and if you're fishing pop ups, just use the multi rig.
Yeah,
Because you can use that versatile, the multi rig. You can use it with a wafter. Uh, Pretty much, it's like Scott Lloyd's noodle rig. So it's pretty much the same without the tubing.
yeah,
So yeah, and going back to like basic baiting is uh how I do now is if I'm fishing solid bags, I'll put five ground bait balls out to match the solid bags. So you got 5 mounds there instead of loose feed.
mm,
So when they come in, they think, oh, there's a lot of solid bags here.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how what you got to think is if I'm fishing with the particle, then I just fish just single wafters over the top with a yellow top or a pink top. Or I always do like 3 different colours and then find out which one's working the best on that day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes total sense.
Um, uh, and like if it's like quite weedy, then that's when I use probably a Ronnie rig or a stiff hinge. You can't go wrong with a stiff hinge just on the edge of a clear spot, to be fair. But I've noticed with my fishing, but quick, because I don't get much time on the bank, so that's why I fish the solid bags more, because it's
Yeah,
quick and easy, and I can put a couple of handfuls of pellet in another bucket with a bit of kettle water, scald them, make a couple of balls, spot them balls out. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
looks like there's a few solid bags there instead of loose feed.
Mm.
So that's another edge that people can probably take in their own fishing is using ground bait balls with solid bags
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of loose.
Makes total sense, mate. You know what I mean? If they're coming in, the same piles, like you said, like look like solid bags, don't they, everywhere, don't they? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It makes total sense, mate.
it builds their confidence up. Say if they go for like the first ball what you put out, and they go for that, take a mouthful. They think they're going to get hooked. They're not going to get hooked. They go to the next one, and that next one could be your solid bag. So
I like it, mate. I like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's all
smart
right.
little edge.
Yeah,
It's my
good.
match fishing.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's what it's all about, mate, innit?
Yeah,
So, Chalky, obviously, we'll do. We've discussed basically every topic there, mate. We've never discussed it anyway, mate. Apart from obviously, do you set yourself goals, Chalky, or do you just enjoy getting out?
for the new year, I've got that focus in my mindset now is to get myself out fishing and do what I enjoy doing
Yeah,
is fishing, not
yeah,
catching, fishing.
yeah,
If you catch a fish, it's a bonus. It can be any size. It's a
yeah.
bonus. And if I
Absolutely.
get a bit, well, I won't get a PB down this end, but I never know. You never know what's in the lakes.
Mm.
That's the thing. Well, the big pit what I'm fishing, it's right next to a river, so the stock's unknown.
Yeah,
So, well, I know there's three £50 commons in there. So,
nice.
and a mirror what's around 45.
And
Yeah,
catching, I've done plenty of fishing this year, mate. And I'll be honest, like I said to you, I haven't done much catching, mate. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but
We enjoy the moment.
sometimes how I see blanking is learning.
Yeah,
You learn from that blank, so you go back and you'll think about the session what you've just done, and you try and improve. So change of rigs, so go back to the basic, go back to the old school ways, free bait stringers, small little mesh bags of pellet and crumb,
yeah,
dipped in your glugs, and bait less. I've noticed baiting less gets you that first bite, then you can work from that.
yeah,
It's with my sessions, what I'm doing is starting off with 5 spods. 5 spods is enough. If you think 5 spods, if you put all that on your mat, that's enough just to get that one bite what you need.
yeah, definitely, mate.
And then you
100%.
can start building up. I
Yeah,
know a lot of people look at Tom Maker and go, yeah, if I put the 10 out and put loads out, then they'll be sitting around motionless rods. So, but I know he's a good angler, but he fishes highly stocked lakes. That's what a lot of people take for granted, if you know what I mean, is it's not going to be the same as their lake.
yeah, of course. It's not, every lake's different, innit?
Every lake's different, and sometimes the best way is to do your own thing and work through it.
Yeah,
Is go go through the stages as I call it. So
yeah,
stage one, watercraft, walk the lake 3, 4 times till you see fish or fizzing,
yeah,
and then get your rods out stealthily with a little bit of bait, just enough to get yourself that first bite, and then you can work from that. That's how I see it.
yeah. Good advice, mate. That first bite's always key in it on a lake, on a new venue
Oh
anyway.
yeah, any lake or any canal or any river is it's just getting that first bite, and then you can work from it.
Yeah,
How I see it as well is don't be scared to move.
yeah,
And
exactly.
a lot of people are scared. A lot of the people, I'm not saying it, like scared slash lazy to pack down, put everything on the barrows, and then move to a different swim and set up again.
Yeah,
But how I see it, efforts are rewards
yeah,
in anything. You put the effort in, you get the rewards, what you want. That's how I see it.
yeah, yeah. Totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Right, Chalky. Yeah, it's. it's brilliant to hear your story and that, mate. It's been mega, and mate, I just want to thank you as well for speaking out about obviously your mental health and stuff, mate. It takes a lot, you know what I mean? I know it's not
Yeah,
easy. I know it's not
yeah,
easy.
but I feel better by doing it.
Yeah,
So if, like I was saying earlier, is if someone's got a close friend or someone that they can talk to about them being in the dark, is do it. Don't hold back.
yeah. I know it's not easy, mate, and that's what I mean. It's fair play. So, you know, thanks for obviously telling your story. You know what I mean? So basically, Chalky, what we're going to do, mate, it's a bit of fun, this one. You can take it anywhere you want, mate. So basically, just a quick fire, mate. Obviously, so we'll start with the awkward one, mate. No one really likes this one, but I always throw it in. It's 2 words to describe yourself, Chalky, if you don't mind, mate.
Friendly and helpful.
I'll tell you what, mate. They're two bang on. They're bang on, then, mate. You are very, very friendly, mate, and you are very helpful. You know what I mean? I think I've started talking to you when this page first started, Chalky, and you know,
Yeah.
you've been very, very helpful, mate, and very friendly. So, yeah, I totally agree with them too,
Yeah.
mate.
Because when you were saying about doing these podcasts, you were actually like saying I'm thinking about doing a podcast, and I was like, do it,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
go and do it.
definitely, mate. Definitely. I'm glad I did. You know what I mean? I really am. You know, it's taken a lot. It's a lot to do it. It's a lot for me to do it. But it's, you know, like you said, it's all worth it in the end. So,
Yeah, it's all worth it because you're doing the effort and you're getting the rewards from all the comments and all the nice people that you meet along the way.
exactly, mate. Exactly. So, mate, if carp didn't exist, what would you target?
Oh, this one's going to be a tough one. This one. I'll probably go for tench.
Yes. Yeah, mate. I said tench. I like him, mate.
I would go for tench. To be fair.
You know what I mean? If carp were there, they'd be my, you know, tench barbel, you know.
Yeah, I've never really had a barbel. To be fair.
Mm. Oh, yeah, the mega river
I
barbel,
had loads of chub when I was younger. There was a little brook at the back of the kennels, and that was just chock a block with chub. And I
right?
used to get chub a chuck, so having like 3, 4 pounders coming out. It was like,
Yeah, that's not bad though, mate.
yeah,
It's good that, mate. So, mate, it's another tricky one, matey. Who's the best angler you've fished with? It can be one of your friends. It could be like your brother, like you mentioned. It could be,
I'll probably go with my brother.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, fair play, mate. You know, it was nice to hear your story about obviously your influence was your brother and stuff, mate. It's a nice touch that, you know what I mean? It's nice that you
it was
shared.
the only. To be fair, it was the only time that I could ever see my brother because he was working away abroad, Madeira, doing all his dancing and all that sort of thing. So going fishing, having brother time as we call it,
Yeah, I get you, mate.
is
Yeah.
whilst fishing.
Yeah. Nice, nice. So, next one, mate. One angler you'd love to go fishing with.
Trying to think, that's a hard question. There's
There's a lot of good,
a lot. There's a
lot in
lot.
there. Who was the first?
Um,
Who was the first person that sprang to mind? Normally, that's normally the answer, isn't it? It's like he springs to mind. You think, yeah, that'd be a good day out. That.
it was, to be fair, both of them, because I've watched both of them. So if I went fishing with the two, it would have been like me watching the video, if you know what I mean.
Mm,
Yeah. So Terry Earn and Lee Jackson.
yes, that would be
I
good.
have to, I have to take the two because both of them have got ridiculous knowledge of fishing.
Oh, imagine how much you'd learn in that day session, mate. You know, it'd be
Yeah.
mega, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So just hear the stories would be good, mate. You know what I
Yeah. I won't even cast out. I just listen to
mean?
their story.
Definitely, definitely, mate. So, mate, if you had to pick, it's another tricky one, mate. Commons or mirrors?
I say mirrors because all mirrors are different.
Yeah, it seems to be the winning choice, that mate. It does.
I don't. To be fair, I don't mind a common because
No, good.
commons got all different vast of shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
With me, it will have to be an old English style common,
yeah.
like the field common.
Mm. Oh, mega carp.
Yeah.
Mega carp. What's your opinion? Obviously, it's not even in the questions. This it just popped in my mind. Over the years, have you been fishing? Obviously, what's been like the best like fight you've had, like a common or a mirror? Mine seems to be a common. Like I've always had better fights with commons. I thought like
To be fair, when I had chestnut, that was just,
insane.
it was insane. It was like I hooked a marlin.
What a picture! That
Yeah,
what a carp that is, Chalky. You sent me that picture. Wow.
if you could, if I could take you back that time, my reels were near enough smoking because it was just going. It was just like across the bay,
Yeah.
and eventually I managed to slow it down. But yeah,
Oh, what a fish, mate.
that was
I'm actually looking at it now, mate. Mega fish.
that's proper old English fish. That is.
Oh, beautiful fish, mate. I'd like that one in my photo album, mate. I tell you.
Oh, it's still there swimming around.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a
I
stunning.
know a few. I know a few of my brother's mates have had that fish out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still in there.
Oh, nice, nice. So, Chalky, I think I know the answer with this one, mate, but I'm going to ask it anyway, mate. UK 40 or overseas 60?
It'll have to be a 40 common to go with the 40 mirror.
Yes, I had a feeling you'd say the UK 40, yeah. Uh,
That's the thing. Because I don't drive. It's awkward for me to go overseas
yeah,
and with family and um. Well, I've got two kids. What I've got autism, so it's very hard for
yeah.
me to leave the wife and the kids all together. So
Mm,
if it was me, I would rather I'd do a 24-hour or 48-hour in the UK, to be fair.
yeah. Yeah, fair point, mate, fair point. Totally understandable, but like I say, mate, you've conquered the mirror, haven't you? So,
Yeah.
no, and what a fish, mate. Mate, if you had to go with one tackle company, mate, if you had to pick a tackle company, just one to go with, uh, who would it be, mate?
To be fair, I'm liking Carp Connection stuff at the minute.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, nice.
His stuff's really high quality, and I don't really like going to the tackle shops because then my mind's blown because you
Yeah,
got Nash, ESP, Thinking Tackle all staring at you, waving their hands, if you know what I mean, saying pick me.
yeah,
So I'd rather stick to one company now, and Copy Connection, all this stuff is top quality stuff, and it's really good stuff, to be fair. Well, it landed me a 47, so can't
exactly.
look back. I can't look back. If it can land one of them, what can it say? It can't land others.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. So shout out to Carpy Connections there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
shout out.
he's on he's on Instagram. Copy Connections.
Mate, if you had to choose one bait company,
Oh, if I went back to my old school route, it will be dynamite.
yeah,
And one bait that I would use is the sauce
right.
because I had a lot of my canal fish and other fish on the sauce.
Yeah, nice, nice. There's a few people who
But
still use it, don't they? Dynamite,
But
and
I'm liking the bait what I'm with now. They're called Midtown baits.
right.
He just does hook baits at the minute, but all his pop ups and wafters, they're just the smell of them is just you want to eat them yourself, let alone a carp.
So what are them ones called, mate?
Midtown baits, it's
Sound
called.
baits.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're quality as well.
So, mate, if you could only use one, mate, boilies or particle.
Oh.
If you could only put one into the lake, what would you?
What you should do is add pellets to it.
And pellets
But
then.
if it was me, pellets.
There you go. Then there you go. We've added that in now, so that can be that's future now. That's going on. Boilies, particles, or pellets. That's going on now,
Yeah,
mate. So
pellets,
pellets,
definitely. Yeah,
yeah.
pellets.
Do you soak them? Do you add stuff to them or
It's depending on the lake.
yeah,
If it's a deep lake, I tend to like scald them a little bit, then add my glug to them so they're sticky, but I don't squeeze them together. So I've got like a little scoop what fits in your spom, like spom spoons. I've got one of them, so you don't compress it too much, so everything goes. Sometimes I pre-soak them. Well, I go for months and months soaking them. If they go dry, put a bit more glug in. Just
yeah,
keep boosting them.
yeah.
So, and then I tend to probably use like a fishy stick mix, or if I want something in the face, I'll go for like a creamy nutty stick mix.
Yeah.
So I'll do it like I can make ground bait balls to go with like if I'm fishing my solid bags, that's my top tip is like scald them, put glug and put your powders in, leave them for overnight before you go and make balls while you're there and put them with your solid bags.
Yeah.
And then another thing what I do as well is it's funny the way that I look at it. Like when you rip a Scotch egg open and you got the egg in the centre.
Yeah.
I'll make that and I'll put like plug in that hole and then squeeze the ball back together. So when that breaks up, all that glug what's inside the ball releases.
Oh yeah, and you put that in you make little balls and put them in your spawn.
Yeah, put them in my spam and then spam them out. And yeah,
I like that tip,
I've
Chalk. Yeah.
done, I've done, that's done me quite a few, like when you know the bit, because I put a bit of hemp oil. Once you see that slick, you know the fish
Yeah.
pretty much on your spot.
Is that the tactic to use to slip up that 47 then?
Yeah.
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 Nice, mate. Nice. Like you say, mate, you're gonna take advice when someone catches a 47 pound beautiful carp like that, mate. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
epic carp. I'm
But
open
the
to
worst thing is, when I hooked the fish, it was waddling on the surface because I was fishing drop off. And when I first saw it, I said to the bloke who was next to me, John, because we was on the social, and John next to me, he came into the swim. I says, "Oh, it's only a 20. It's just waddling in like a 20." And when he got in the net for me, because he netted it for me and all that sort of thing, he goes, "Mate, that ain't a 20." And then
Oh,
he goes, "Come and have a look yourself." And when I appeared, I'll send you a photo. I'll put a photo of it in the net. It's like
yeah,
you can get a saddle on its back. I
yes, mate.
was like, I was scratching my head like disbelief if I just caught it.
Fair play, mate. You deserved it. You know what I mean? You did.
But like I was saying, I was going for like a dark time at that point. Um, but when I caught that fish, it did bring me back out of my shell. But then I soon like floated back down in the dark, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good, Chalky. You hear though that you're back, mate, and you're seeing the light again. You know what I mean? You're seeing that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing the light again. And like how I've told the doctor is, I've pictured myself as like if you're doing like a warrior in a game, you start bare, and each task you do, you add armor. So
Yeah,
every person that when I talk to my doctor about my problem, I'm adding armor to myself. When I'm talking to other people about my problem, I'm adding armor to myself. So
yeah.
I'm building myself as a warrior. So once I'm fully armored, then I'll be helping other people out more.
Definitely, mate. Definitely, I get that, mate. And you actually sent me that in a message. And Chalky, I get it. My I was in France with my friend this year, and he explained something to me. And some people it might not make sense to, but to me it did at that time. And he said to me, about fishing. He said, if you've never done boat fishing and you go boat fishing, and in the boat and dropping your rigs from a boat. He said,
Yeah, yeah,
what you got to imagine is, he said to me, it's like a game. He said, you're a beginner,
yeah,
but after this trip, because you've been doing it for 7 days, you're
yeah.
progressing levels up, you're leveling up. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? To other people, this might not make sense, but
I could just manage you. You was probably like Tom Maker and Liam Mozzer.
and I thought, this makes total sense, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was good, man. And yeah, you level up in life, don't you? And like you said, you had a piece
Yeah,
of hammer.
exactly.
You've got everything in life, you're learning and you're evolving, Take everyone's advice.
No, another thing what I do as well is if anyone's negative to me or a negative comment, I find the positive of it.
Yeah, man. Fair play. So, Chalky, if you could go fishing right now, where are we heading, mate? Where are we going? If we could go somewhere right now.
Big pit after the big comment.
Sounds good to me, mate. That's the target, yeah?
Yeah, that's my target this year. That's what I'm going to concentrate on. That's what I've got my focus for.
Yeah, well, fingers crossed, mate. I really hope you get it.
Because I've fished it a few times before, so I've mapped quite a few of the swims already. So, and there's one swim that I've got in mind where I had 3 fish out, and people said, "Mate, I've fished it 4 years and I've still not had a fish out, and you've had 3 out in a day." So
Yeah.
I've got that swim in my mind and the spot in my mind because it was one of them hot spots, I think.
Yeah. Mate, you must have been doing something right, mate. If people have been, obviously, if you've had 3 fish out and people have been on there 4 years, mate.
Yeah.
You're doing something right, mate.
Yeah.
So,
Go
Chalky,
back to basic.
yeah, I will be next year. So, mate, uh, your dream venue.
I would say 2.
Yeah,
The the Oxford Lake, what Terry and Jacko were fishing in that video,
yeah,
and the next one will be Orchid.
right.
That lake's got a lot of history.
Yeah,
So literally, when you stand on that lake, you stand in a bit of history. How
yeah.
I see it,
I like that,
because
Chalky. I like that.
I always used to see it in the magazines, like they used to have like the map of the lake where you used to have the 2 little cabins in the corner, and then the old boy what used to live in his shed on the lake, like telling you all the hot swims and etc. and spots. And I always used to see it every week in Carp Talk or the Angling Mail,
Yeah,
Orchid, like all the fish spots are in there. And back when I was reading the magazines, they were like 20s, close to 30s, and looking on their Facebook page now, it's like 30s and 40s coming out now. So yeah, that will be,
that'd be mega.
yeah.
Well, Chalky, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on your podcast, and I really hope you've enjoyed it, mate.
Yeah, I have really enjoyed it.
Good, mate,
Yeah.
and like I say, I just want to say, obviously, thank you again. I can only say thank you, for everyone out there who's struggling to speak about mental health and stuff. And for come on and tell a little bit about your story and tell about your mental health and your struggles, mate. People could be listening, even if it's just one person out there listening to this Chalky now.
That's it. Yeah,
Exactly.
if anyone's watching this video, well, this podcast, is reach out to me and I can talk. I'll listen, and if you want the advice, I'll give you the advice.
Yeah. No, it's
Is
nice.
the best thing to do is take that first step, is talking to someone. That's it. You achieve your warrior, your start of your warrior.
Yeah, I like that, Chalky. I like it, mate. I like that. I like that saying, mate. It's good, man. And like you say, I can only say thank you for opening up because I know it's not easy.
Oh, it's not easy. I'm still doing my fair bit now and all that sort of thing, but I'd rather help people before you'll see it on Facebook or one of their friends put a post up, and then we have
Yeah,
to do like a fishing match for them. Or you understand what I'm saying? Is
I understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand what you're saying,
I'd
mate.
rather save them before,
Yeah,
and if I help them, they can help the next person, and they can help the next person.
yeah.
It's like a chain link. Everybody linked together.
Exactly like one big community, mate, innit?
Yeah.
And Mate, it really touched me as well, mate. I just want to say thanks again, mate. When you said about obviously the page has helped yourself and this is what I started it for, and to hear someone's feedback saying, it's helped me and it's someone you've learnt on and you've got friends through the page now, mate. Mate, that's why it's made it all worthwhile to me. So
Yeah, exactly.
um,
And like we're good friends. I talk to you and all that sort of thing. And like I said to you when you first started, if you need any advice and all that sort of thing, never hesitate to get in contact and all that sort of thing.
yeah,
And that's when you messaged me saying I'm thinking about doing podcasts. What do you think? And I told you straight, go for it.
yeah, you did, mate. You did. And I tell you what, Chalky, good luck in your little adventure next year. YouTube channel
Yeah.
and stuff, mate. You know what I mean? And
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, that's another thing. What I'm going to start doing is blogging and doing my own videos to show people my way.
exactly.
I'm not going to be like pondering everything at people. You got to get these hooks. You got to get this. You got to get that. I'll just show you pure fishing
Yeah,
and pure tips on how to fish, not complicating things.
nice and simple, and keeping it
And I'll be
simple.
doing like challenge videos as well. It's like people can send in challenges, like bait challenges. I have to use a certain bait for
Nice.
that session. So I've got it all in mind. I've got it all written down.
Yeah, good, mate. Good. And
Because I know my 2023 has been a bad year, so my 2024 is going to be a bang.
yes, man. Yes, and what I'll do, Chalky, is when we put it all together and stuff, mate, I'll leave a little link so people can come over to your channel if they want to, mate, and check it out. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and
So, Chalk,
I'll be doing giveaways and etc. as well. And
yeah,
I might message Mark Hutchinson for casting day, so like a giveaway. So and that'll be probably at Naseby Reservoir where he normally goes.
nice, mate.
So yeah,
Nice. Well,
yeah,
I'll thingy as well, Chalky, mate, to get you going, mate. We'll get something sorted together, and we'll do a nice little I'll do a nice little giveaway for you and that on the page and stuff where you tagged in and stuff, mate. We'll get something nice
yeah,
sorted.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So remember,
We
mate.
need to do a lonely carpet social.
Uh, we do, mate. We do, and a lot of people have asked, mate, and it's something that is there. It is in my mind, mate, and I will get round to doing something. But at the
Yeah,
minute, mate, I'm trying to just keep taking it in my step, and because as the
yeah,
page grows, it's But this is going to happen. It is, mate, and
yeah.
it'll be a pleasure to have everyone there, mate, and it'll be good, man. So, like I say,
And
Chalky, thanks again.
I'm willing to help you if you need to sort out a place. I've got a few places in mind.
Well, you can just sit on my peg, mate, because I don't catch fish anyway. So you can sit on mine. So
All right, yeah.
we'll go catch some fish,
I'll
mate.
show, I'll cast your rods out for you.
I'll bring the boat for that. I'll bring my bait boat for that. Then.
Oh no, so I'll sink it with a 3 ounce lead.
Yeah, yeah. Right, mate. So remember, it's all about the journey, and thanks again, mate. Cheers, Chalky,
Brilliant.
mate.
Yeah, nice one.
Cheers,
Cheers.
mate. Ta.